Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for June 23rd, 2025. This is for the lower 48 United States. Thank you for joining me here on the Weather Guru channel. Please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button on the way in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about the temperatures here. We're on a heat wave for the eastern two-thirds of the country, as you can see the temperature map here. Very hot to welcome in summer. Blazing temperatures in a lot of places that haven't experienced this in quite some time, since the year 2000, 2003, 2004. We're going to be talking about the thunderstorms as well. Not much going on in the tropics as well, but we do have a system east of Bermuda that could become our first named storm, not affecting any land masses, but there'll be the first named storm possibly that we can have coming up by Thursday or Friday of this week in June. The last week, full week in June 23rd here. So, looking at the temperatures here, we can see very hot days here. 93 degrees Fahrenheit in Tampa, 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Raleigh-Durham, 101 degrees Fahrenheit in D.C. Even Boston got up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Boston. Interior sections of Cleveland, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 96 degrees Fahrenheit in Chicagoland, 94 degrees in Memphis, 94 in DFW as well. And these temperatures almost eclipse Phoenix temperatures right now. They're only at 102 degrees Fahrenheit, but they're heading to 114, I believe, as well as Palm Desert and Lake Havasu, in Yuma, Arizona. Those areas typically are the hottest areas of the country. But with this heat wave coming in here, it's going to last for the next 3 to 4 days here. So plan all the way through Thursday. If you're anywhere east of the Mississippi River, plan to have this heat, this excessive heat, in place all the way through Thursday. As far as storms here, the relief comes in storms here. The marginal showers are going to be from the Gulf Coast, anywhere from Jacksonville back to Mobile, Hattiesburg, Jackson, New Orleans, Houston, Beaumont, back down towards Corpus Christi and Brownsville, up into the Central Plains. And then we also have the area of concern, the slight area of concern here, which is a 2 out of 5 enhanced risk that extends anywhere from Topeka, Kansas, up into Des Moines, the Quad Cities, Madison, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, Green Bay, UP of Michigan, and over toward Cadillac, Michigan on 131 or Highway Interstate 75 there. That's the concern. Most of this is for hail, 1 inches or greater, and some straight line winds that may exceed 58 miles an hour that meets that severe thunderstorm criteria. Now that's the SPC outlook for day 1 here, June 23rd, 2025. Tornadoes is a low threat here, obviously. This is in association with a frontal boundary that's moving through the area here. You can see here on the National Weather Service radar here, we had those storms. We had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings through the plains. Typical summertime pattern. With the jet stream retreated well north into Canada, it just allowed this big dome of high pressure sinking air that's going to be heat and not much wind or breeze outside of these showers here in these areas that you can see here. So, unfortunately, it's going to be stifling heat down in places like Columbia, South Carolina, Charlotte, Atlanta, Birmingham, Jackson, Tupelo, down toward Tallahassee, Orlando, Miami. Now, obviously, Miami and Orlando, you guys are actually less heat is going to be felt. More heat is going to be felt along the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. Temperatures could exceed tomorrow record-breaking temperatures above 101, 102 degrees in places like Philadelphia, Trenton, Wilmington, Washington, D.C., New York City even. And so stay cool, stay hydrated with most times water, energy drinks. They're okay, but just watch the sugar, low sugar content, and you should be fine. And take frequent breaks inside. Looking at the National Weather Service current hazards for today, June 23rd, 2025, for all of the lower 48 United States, you can see this orange. The orange represents heat advisories, but the fuchsia is what we want to take extreme caution. This is extreme heat warning. This extends anywhere from Wilmington, North Carolina, Outer Banks, Emporia, Roanoke, into Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, Wilmington, Trenton, back into New York City, the boroughs of Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island. You guys are going to be Staten Island, and then up into Connecticut, Hartford Valley, Hartford, Waterbury, up into Boston area, Quincy, Massachusetts, Dedham, all into New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire. Hello to you guys. And all up into Maine even. We have excessive heat warnings in the Augusta, Portland, Maine, and to the Canadian border. So in the Great Lakes, you folks have excessive heat warnings. This extends I-65. If you're coming along I-65, 465 Beltway, north of Zionsville, Carmel, Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana, up 31, South Bend, toward Tipton, Kalamazoo, Elkhart, Indiana, across the Indiana Toll Road, I-90, Delta, Ohio, places like that. You guys are under excessive heat warning in purple too as well. Suburbs, south suburbs of Chicago, anywhere from Harvey, Tinley Park, Aurora, Downers Grove, You guys are in that west and south suburbs of Chicago. You're in that excessive heat warning off the lakes there. Everybody else is still under a heat advisory. And this extends, like I said, mostly east of the Mississippi River here. But there's some areas here around St. Louis. You guys are under excessive heat warnings. In the Illinois, East St. Louis. And down south toward Festus, Missouri. You guys are in that. Now, the flood watches are in effect. Monsoonal season is kicking in slowly. The monsoonal season is going to be happening in El Paso, Franklin Mountains. Be careful if you're hiking, doing some hiking activities up there in the Franklin Mountains east of El Paso, the Loop, the Trans Mountain Loop, back into New Mexico, Truth for Consequences, Roswell, Albuquerque, Taos, all of these areas, and up to Sangre de Cristo Mountains and the Raton Pass toward Colorado border. Flood watch is in effect for today and tomorrow, possibly, as flash floods could be possible there with the rain showers that are pulling up for the monsoonal flow there as typical. Now, red flag warnings, you don't want to be doing any burning here in western Colorado, anywhere from Grand Junction, Steamboat Springs, back up into pass just to the west of the Continental Divide, I should say, heading towards 70 there. So be very careful. Extremely dry conditions. Outside of this, like I said, the heat is the main story for the hazards there. Now, looking at the hurricane season, that's the area I was talking to. A couple hundred miles east of Bermuda, northeast of Bermuda, say 500 or 600 miles. There is an area of disturbance here giving a more than 55% chance of development. If it does develop by Thursday or Friday, it'll be given the name of Andrea. So it'll be subtropical or tropical storm, tropical depression, then it'll be a tropical storm Andrea if it does manage to get a name. And it'll be heading out to sea. This will be a mariners and fish storm. It won't be bothering. It may possibly clip some of the Azores Islands. But other than that, it's a fish storm. It's heading out, moving east-northeast. It's not going to be affecting Bermuda or any of the continental United States. That's great news. Just want to make you aware of that we could get and we typically get our first name system, a name storm, before the end of June ends anyway. And so typically people have guessed around June 27th to June 29th is typically when we see our first name storm, a norm storm. So Andrea will be the first name. Barry would be the next name, but I don't see that foreseeing the next 7 days that we'll get two storms in the month of June. That's still up for debate. So this has been your Weather Guru Lower 48 update and tropical outlook. Thank you for listening. Like I said, hit that like button and subscribe button. Share this channel. Get the word out. And any comments or questions, leave them below. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.